Hey guys, want to show your support to the channel and get some awesome rewards at the same time? Then go check out my Patreon page where at whatever tier you choose that fits your budget, you'll get plenty of rewards such as updates and announcements on the regular, exclusive sneak peeks of my videos before they go up online, get yourself credited, and receive a special shout out at the end of my videos and more. Go to patreon.com/Ackleyattack427's to start pledging today. And don't forget to also check out and consider gifting me any items I have listed on my Amazon wishlist and even supporting me on my Streamlabs tipping page that'll also help support the channel directly. Links are in the description box below as well as on my link tree for you to check out. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Take care. Hey guys, like what we do on our channel and want to see more videos from us? Then not to worry about a thing. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as turning on the notification bell so that way you can see more of our videos coming up very soon. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here with a brand new thoughts video for all of you guys, and yeah, I guess it has been some time since after I did the previous thoughts video for sure, and well, I guess it has been a long time coming, pretty much from what I can gather, so I figured now would be a good time to do another one of these for sure, and yeah, if you're wondering why my thumb is of course bandaged up, well, I think for pretty much this, as well as of course some future videos that I'll actually put up later on down the road. And with what I mentioned in, of course, the previous video that I posted some time ago for sure. Let's just say I had a bit of a cooking accident, hands down, for sure. But it's okay. It's doing all right now for sure. It's just only a minor cut from what I can gather to which, thankfully, excuse me, so yeah, thankfully, it is actually healing up as we speak, so it'll probably be 100% better, pretty much within a matter of time, for sure, so yeah, but either way, that's not the main focus right now. I'm here to talk about today's movie, pretty much in this newest thoughts video, for sure, so yeah, and quite fitting enough, I guess, pretty much just after what I've been through, with of course my first three thoughts videos that I did, pretty much covering covering 3 horror movies in a row for sure. Looks like I think it's time to finally change up genres for once for sure. So yeah, I guess it's about time that we actually did that for sure, because yeah, let me tell you, I think since after reviewing 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, Send Help, and Iron Lung, yeah, I think it is actually quite fitting that I should probably change up genres for sure, so yeah, but that's at least what I can say, of course, on that front for sure, so yeah. And of course, quite fitting enough, for today's movie we're going to be talking about here, pretty much in this newest thoughts video. Yeah, I guess surprisingly enough, I think it's about time that we delve into, of course, pretty much the latest film that is given to us from Sony Pictures Animation. Yeah, I guess it has been some time since after we talked about a little something from them, hands down for sure, especially with what I've been through last year, when I talked about their last film that they pretty much released, K-Pop Demon Hunters for sure. And before you guys ask, yes, I am fully aware that they also released Fixed right around last year, but I've decided not to talk about it because I didn't have much interest in, of course, that one for sure. So I'm actually acting like Fix doesn't exist, hands down, and say that K-Pop Demon Hunters is their only film that they actually released last year. Just like that for sure. So So yeah, so I guess it's after what we've been through last year with, of course, their last film for sure. I think it's time that we pretty much get ourselves in to talk about another one of their films for sure. And well, here's something you never thought you would actually pretty much hear the words come out of my mouth in regards to today's movie we're going to be talking about. How about pretty much... yeah, how about for, of course, their pretty much Sony Animation's newest film, it will involve an anthropomorphic goat actually playing a Google game of pretty much their equivalent of basketball. Yeah, I think I will get you the idea, of course, that front, and well, if you think I'm making that up, hands down for sure, well, trust me, I think I might have actually had a couple people pretty much asking questions when I mentioned the plot for this movie. But he is actually a real thing, I'm not gonna lie, so yeah, I think I guess with that being said, I think it's time to get ourselves out onto the court and actually shoot some hoops, hands down, as we talk about the latest film from Sony Animation for sure, which is none other than GOAT, So yeah, that is of course what I'm going to be talking about here today. It is of course the latest film that just came out not too long ago, and boy, I've got a lot to say of course this one for sure, so yeah, it's pretty much what I can say of course that front. Alright, there we go. Alrighty then, well, so yeah, I think pretty much before going into this movie, I will admit, I think based on what I've actually, when I first heard about it, hands down, yeah, I think I did actually scratch my head a little bit. I'm wondering how this idea can actually work, and well, right at the moment when I actually saw the trailers for that Sega movie, it does somehow pique my interest, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I mean, despite pretty much the plot of the movie looking rather odd, hands down for sure, I really do like the approach that they're actually going for, hands down for sure. It's basically Sony's animation equivalent, pretty much, yeah, they're pretty much, yeah, Sony Animation's take on a sports movie, but with a twist, hands down, so yeah, I was actually really quite interested right at the moment when I first saw the trailers for it, hands down, and I really do hope that with some clever ideas and some really creative talent behind it, maybe it might actually work well as a really good movie for sure, so yeah, so I guess either way, pretty much even after what I've been through during this year's Valentine's Day that has come and gone for sure, I knew hands down that I wanted to get myself in to check this movie out and see if it'll actually deliver on something really promising or not, so yeah, so of course I managed to get myself in to go and see this movie for myself, all thanks to everyone at Crown City Cinemas as always. Really appreciate that a whole lot, and well, now that I've officially got out of course, seeing this movie, I guess a lot of you guys may be wondering, what do I think of this movie now that I finally got the chance to see it? Well, I'm not gonna lie, I think for what it is, I actually thought this movie is good. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way I can actually put it. I think with what they actually did, hands down, I actually do think it is actually a pretty good movie. Is it by all means fantastic? No, not particularly, but I really do like what they've actually done, hands down, to really make this a real good time, and that's pretty much what I actually got. And for while I can't necessarily say it's pretty much on par like, say, the Spider-Verse movies or, again, K-pop Demon Hunters, I do think GOAT is indeed a pretty damn good movie in my opinion, so yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alrighty then, well. So yeah, now that I've actually got the short version out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about everything that I need to talk about for sure. For starters is, of course, the story, and yeah, I think with what I've actually seen by far, I really do think the story in this movie is actually crafted out pretty good and structured out quite nicely for sure. I think with what they're actually trying to go for, again, it really wanted to pretty much Sony Animation wanted to go for their own take on a sports movie, but with a really nice and clever twist, hands down for sure. And I think with what I've actually seen, I really do think pretty much they really have a lot going for to really make this pretty much the story for this movie actually pretty good for sure. And I will admit, it does have a few bumpy areas that I really think could have been cut out, so that way we don't miss a single thing, hands down for sure. But still, I really do think they really did a bang-up job with what it's actually going for, hands down. And I really do think yeah, for while it's actually not perfect, I do think the story in this movie is actually pretty good, hands down. And not to mention the writing, I have to say, that too, I will have to admit, is actually crafted really nicely, hands down. I think with what I've actually seen pretty much throughout the entire course of the movie, for sure, they really actually went all out to really try to pretty much craft something really clever for the film's screenplay. And yeah, again, I will have to say there might be some parts in it that I think could have been cut out for sure. But other than that, the rest is actually done pretty nicely for sure. So yeah. But that's at least what I can say on that aspect alone for sure. And yeah, and I guess for another aspect, the comedy for sure. I will admit, I think with what I've actually seen, the comedy in this film is actually pretty decent in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, granted, I think not every joke in this movie actually got a huge laugh from what I've actually seen, but a few small ones they actually did actually does work pretty well, and it did give me a slight giggle pretty much by far for sure. So yeah, I do felt they could have actually done a whole lot more to actually really tried to make the comedy a whole lot more great for sure, so that way it can actually get a huge laugh out of me for sure. But for what it is, I do think it is actually still done pretty decently in my opinion, and I still think it is passable to say the least. So yeah, I think with what I've actually mentioned for sure for the story, the writing, and the comedy, yeah, like I said, there might be some parts in it that are a little bit too bumpy, and even some that I think could have worked a whole lot better. Yeah, the rest, on the other hand, I really do think is actually very nicely done, and I really do love what they've actually gone for to really actually make it pretty much stand out quite well. And yeah, for while not perfect, I still think they did the job pretty well for sure. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alrighty then, well, now that I've actually got those out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about the next couple of things that I need to talk about for sure, to which next up is, of course, the characters. And yeah, I think with what I've actually seen by far, I really do think the characters in this movie are actually developed quite nicely for sure, and I really do love what they actually did with some pretty nice development and material to actually make them all the more interesting for sure. And I really do love the nice approach that they actually did, hands down, and especially with the different ways that each and every single one of them actually really wanted to make them grow and evolve, hands down, throughout the course of the entire movie, for what it is, and I really do think it is actually done very nicely in my opinion, and I think it is actually really something that I do think is actually really quite clever for sure. So yeah, that's at least what I can say for the characters for sure. Now, as for the actors that came on board to play all these characters, yeah, I think I will admit, I think this movie actually really did get some really good actors casting perfectly for, of course, pretty much these characters for sure. And yeah, I think for what it is, I really do think each and every single one of them actually pulled off some pretty good performances, in my opinion. I mean, it's not Oscar-worthy from what I've actually seen, but I really do think their performances in this movie are actually done pretty good, hands down for sure, and I really do think they really are committed to work with the material that's actually given to them for sure, and I really do admire that, hands down, so yeah, at least that's what I could say on that front for sure, So yeah, I think with what I've actually said for the characters, I really do think they are developed quite nicely, and all the actors actually pulled off some pretty good performances that I really do think actually work quite well to the film's advantage. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alrighty then, well, now that I've officially got those two out of the way, what else is there for me to talk about? Well, quite a whole lot, actually, and, well, seeing how this is a film from Sony Pictures Animation, I think we should definitely talk about, well, the animation for sure, and yeah, and for what I did mention pretty much with the other aspects that I really do think are actually range from decent to good, but not perfect in my opinion, I will say the one thing that I really do think stands out a whole lot, pretty much at least in my opinion, yeah, I will have to say the animation in this movie is just absolutely outstanding, hands down for sure. I think with, of course, what I'm actually seeing on screen, I really love what they did with the animation, hands down for sure. Yeah, everything about it just really actually pretty much really makes it look absolutely great, hands down for sure, and I really do love on what they actually did from what I can gather for sure. Yeah, I think pretty much of anything from the way the characters are actually designed to the really clever background, yeah, the really clever backgrounds that they actually pretty much put together for sure. I really do love the really nice richness and texture to, of course, the animation for sure. To really actually make it stand out all the way. It's almost kind of like pretty much where I remember a few years ago talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem and how much I really love the animation on that front for sure. So yeah, I think I can make the argument this movie is pretty much on that level, hands down for sure. And yeah, pretty much of anything, they really did their research to really see what they could do to make the animation work for sure, and they really did accomplish that quite well for sure with pretty much the nice pretty much texture and of course the sketchy designs pretty much from what I've actually seen to the nice usage of color as well to really making us stand out. So yeah, I guess pretty much of anything, pretty much all the other aspects are done pretty good, but when it comes to the animation, it is indeed marvelously well done in my opinion. I really do love the hell out, of course, on what they actually did, hands down. So yeah, and of course, let's not forget to mention the production design that they actually did is also actually quite nice from what I've actually seen. Again, with the way the characters are, of course, designed, and even the backgrounds as well, they I really do think blend in perfectly with the film's surroundings. To even the way they incorporate stuff like, of course, the visuals and the effects, which are done pretty well, that really does suit everything pretty much that goes on throughout the course of the movie, and even the nice bit of sound mixing as well, alongside bits and pieces of music adding into it, that I really do think really actually makes it stand out, at least in my opinion. So yeah. But either way, I think it's what I can say for everything that I've actually mentioned in regards to the production design for sure. So yeah, but that's at least what I can say, of course, that front. And of course, the direction in this film from the film's director, yeah, I will have to say, it is actually done pretty good, hands down. And you can tell pretty much the director of this film really actually putting a really good amount of hard-working effort to try to make this movie pretty much be all the more great for sure. And I really do applaud their commitment, hands down, to really make this stand out quite well. So yeah, and of course, the cinematography in this film, I really do think it is actually done quite nicely, hands down, with some really great camera shots that they actually did to correspond with the animation, and of course, this movie. And I really do think they really did some great camera work that they actually did, almost make you feel like you are in the action, pretty much as everything goes on throughout the course of the movie. And of course, pretty much the ending, I have to say, that alone is cut up actually perfectly, hands down, not only matching quite well with the film's style that they actually have implemented, hands down, for sure, but also work well with the film's pacing, in my opinion, to which, yeah, that too alone is actually done pretty good, hands down. And yeah, like I said earlier, I think there are parts in the film's pacing that I think could have been done a whole lot better to make it all the more great, for sure. But I still think it is actually done pretty good, hands down. So yeah, at least that's what I can say, of course, that front. So give it to what I've actually mentioned. I think that will get you the idea on what I thought of this movie as a whole. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright, I guess I'm done with that. Alright, so yeah, I think, well, with everything that I've actually mentioned, I think I would pretty much sum up this movie as a whole. So yeah, overall, GOAT, I will have to say, is indeed a really nice, fast-paced, and really quite nicely done movie that I really do think, with every single thing that it wants to implement, hands down, I really don't think it actually hits the bullet points all the way, for sure. I still think it actually pretty much turned out to be a pretty good movie, in my opinion. So yeah, like I said, I think there are some parts in it that I do think could have actually worked a whole lot better than what was given to us on screen, for sure. But everything else from what I've actually seen is actually done quite nicely, and I do think it is actually really quite amazing to actually witness that on the screen, for sure. And yeah, this film wanted to give us a pretty good time, and it delivered on that quite well. So yeah, and yeah, like I said, do I think this movie is by all means great? Not particularly. Yeah, I think there maybe could have been some areas from what I've actually seen that I do think could have actually been improved upon, for sure. But I really do like what they've actually gone for to actually make this pretty much a real good time, and it delivered on that quite well. So yeah. So I guess either way, I really don't think it's actually gonna be on par pretty much with some of Sony Animation's previous work with, like I said, with both the Spider-Verse movies and K-pop Demon Hunters. But at the end of the day, I really do think GOAT is still actually a pretty good movie that I really do think is actually well worth checking out, for sure. So yeah. And yeah, I guess despite all of that, I do still highly recommend this movie all the way. Is it by all means perfect? No, but I do think you're going to be in for quite a real good time from what I've actually seen, for sure. And I think this movie is going to deliver on exactly that, for sure. So yeah. I guess despite all of that, if that is something up your alley, I say definitely give this movie a fair shot for sure. I think you're going to be in for one heck of a good time for sure, even if it does require you to, you know, shoot some hoops all the way. So yeah, that's at least what I can say. Of course, that front, yeah, on that front for sure. So yeah. So I guess it'll pretty much sum up on what I thought of this movie as a whole. So yeah, for my final score, yeah, I think I'm going to be fair on, of course, this one. And I'll give a GOAT an 8 out of 10 as my final score. So yeah, like I said, I can't necessarily say this is by all means great, let alone be considered pretty much an Oscar-winning masterpiece all the way. But I do think it is actually a pretty good movie, in my opinion, that I think you're going to be in for a real good time for sure. So yeah, and I know if there's plenty of little kids, they might like it a whole lot more for sure. But for an adult like me, I do think it is still good enough for what it is. And yeah, I think it's probably the best way I can describe this movie as a whole. I think this movie is good. Not great, just good. So yeah, at least that's what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah. Alright, so I guess on that thought alone, I think it'll pretty much do exactly that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and by all means, I want to ask all of you guys, what do you think of GOAT if you've actually seen it for yourself? Do you absolutely really enjoyed it and think it's a real good time like what I thought of it for sure? Or do you absolutely hate it and think the whole idea of what they've actually gone for is just stupid for what it is and it just doesn't need to exist? Or are you somewhere in between where you think it's just okay for the most part? Let me know what you thought of this movie down in the comments down below. I'm quite curious to see what you guys think. So yeah, that's at least what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and phew, man, I guess it feels great to finally get this off my chest for sure, because, yeah, trust me, since after talking about 3 horror movies in a row since after the start of this year, I guess I do need this movie as a nice little genre jump for sure. But you may never know if pretty much another movie in a different genre might pop up next, so I think it's good to really keep that in mind for sure. So yeah. I won't say what I'll talk about in the next thoughts video for sure, but trust me when I say once I actually do, you're going to be in for quite a surprise on, of course, that front. So yeah, but until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD and Sam Shepard. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/Ackleyattack427TheThomasFan1 to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications, and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions, for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, backley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up.
Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I'm posting on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and playing more, in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/Ackleyattack427's/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.